Hello everyone, I am Julia Austin, the Violence Prevention Coordinator and Advocate for Hands of Hope Resource Center in Todd and Morrison County. You can find us on our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our blog, and YouTube to connect with us. All can be found simply by searching Hands of Hope Resource Center or going to the description below to find the links. You can also find us at our website, handsofhope.net. We are going to now jump right into our topic for the day, which is talking about tips on how to help someone, especially our youth, through grieving. So let's get started. It can be very challenging and difficult to sum up how to support a youth, a teenager, our children without being overly general, because just like adults, humans, they are complicated individuals who think, feel, act, and react to life in their own unique way. As adolescents grieve, it can be impacted by a many number of things, including but not limited to their unique relationships with the individuals that they have, how the individuals may have impacted their situation, how they may have passed away, what their loss was, also their support system and how they established that, past experiences with loss, and their own unique strengths and weaknesses when it comes to dealing with stress, adversity, and high emotions. As adults seeking to support an adolescent youth should try to remember that a wide range of responses are considered normal, and there's no one formula for providing support. Fortunately, conventional wisdom says that the best way to support and grieve with adolescent youth is to show them companionship, which is just a fancy way of being there for youth when they need it. Hopefully you kind of already got an idea of how to do this, but here are some examples of ways to show companionship by supporting youth. You can talk with them openly and honestly, listen to them, allow them to grieve how they want, and allow them to decide how they will cope with that situation, with the exception of self-destructive behaviors. The first tip that we're going to discuss today is grieving youth still want to be normal. Adolescence is a time when most teens just want to fit in, so when a tragedy sets a youth apart, it's all that much harder for them to find that sense of normalcy in their life. They don't want to be singled out. You can support a grieving teenager by sticking with routines, and especially if the youth is a friend of your youth, continue to welcome them into your home, continue them to hang out, and just because a teenager is coping with the loss of a loved one or the loss of a situation in their home, just remember that it doesn't mean that youth want to be stopped, invited over, or they want to be not included in certain situations. It's still good to, offer that invitation, and if they respectfully decline, then that's okay. That's their way of coping. But it's important to know that so many people stop because they don't want to feel that burden, but youth really want to get back into that environment where they feel normal. They feel like they can be welcomed into the situation, even though that they were grieving for a period of time. They still have the ability to go back into their normal life and be able to, gain those relationships again and be able to be a part of the community and normalcy again. The second tip that we're going to be discussing today is friends are important. Adolescence is a time when peers play a starring role much more so than in early childhood. So it should come to no surprise that when it comes to youth grieving of loss or a certain situation, youth may learn more from their peers than their adults. Adults worry because this age group can become unaffected or they may shut down and don't want to talk. But it's okay to understand that they can go to different outlets such as themselves, where they can go to their youth, they can go to their counselors, they can go to their teachers. Sometimes it's easier for them to not go to their parents because they know so much about them. And it's easier for them to talk to someone who may not be a part of that circle that they're in. The third tip is to allow youth to take the lead. It's not helpful to try to direct when a grieving teenager should do, say, or feel. Rather, you should be able to lead them. For example, don't force a youth to participate in a conversation they don't want to. If they want to talk about it, go ahead, but if they don't, just be there for them and show them that companionship. The fourth tip is to be careful with your language. It's hard to know what to say to a grieving youth. Some things of not to say are, things will get better, or you shouldn't be worrying about this so much. What could you say instead? Or how are you? Or even, do you want to talk about this? Again, Follow the youth's lead. If they don't want to talk about it, then just be there for them and support them through whatever they're going through. The fifth tip is to give youth something to do. It's really important to know that, a youth that is actively doing something can get their mind off of something that happened in their life, whether it be the loss of a special family member or a friend or a certain situation that impacted them greatly. This can include, helping them memorialize the family member or their friend. For example, like making t-shirts for them or, going out for supper and memorializing them in that way. There are a bunch of different ideas, and they're going to be very unique to who the group of people are that are celebrating or focusing on the situation that happened. But it's really important to know that, giving them something to do, allowing them to take control, and allowing them to put their creative mind into something that they are so compassionate about. The sixth tip is to just be honest. This is particularly important in the event of any anticipated loss, or such as a terminal illness. Sometimes out of a desire to protect our youth, we are not completely honest about a situation. Youth thrive on honesty, but they know something is going to happen, so be very honest about what is going on. If not, they may have a lot of buildup, they may have a lot of anxiety towards the situation, so it's really important to show that honesty with them and allow them to lead through example for you. The seventh tip that we're going to discuss today is to get help if needed or ask for help. With time, most youth are able to get back to normal routines of daily living, though you should anticipate ups and downs. Grieving is like the ocean. It ebbs and it flows. One day you're okay, and one day you may be struggling a little bit more. But when it comes to a youth who is grieving, some struggles more often than not may be challenging for them to accomplish during the day, but it's important to always be there for them and provide that additional support, whether it be as a parent, a guardian, a teacher, a counselor, a mentor, or just as a friend. It's really important to just be there and show them that companionship. If there is one thing you should take away from all of this that we discussed today, is that there is no formula for grief. Adolescence is a stage in our lives when we have our first experiences with many emotions and reactions. Because of this, it can be very difficult for some youth to cope with the loss of a loved one, the loss of a situation in their home maybe, or just something that happened in their community. Paying attention to the needs of a bereaved teen and accompanying them through the grieving process are the most important duties you can perform. Another note, the grieving process never ends. There will be good days and there will be bad days, but being there for your youth during the light and the dark will help them understand that life is going to be full of ups and downs, and that it's okay to take time for themselves and to care for themselves. Thank you all for watching and supporting us through this important topic. Feel free to check out all of our social media accounts down below. We love to support, connect, and collaborate with each and every one of you. Have a great day.